Hello, happy people, and welcome to your Moment of Zed, the YouTube channel dedicated to the most beautiful car in the world. Wait for it. The BMW Z3, or as the folks in Nottingham call it, the Z3. I'm Mark, and today we're going to tackle a very common problem on the BMW Z3, an airbag or supplemental restraint system or SRS light that is constantly on, won't turn off. Mine's been on ever since I bought the car. I wasn't that worried about it, but the reality of it is if your SRS light is on, there is the potential that your airbags will not deploy during an accident. We drive very small cars, that would be a bad thing. I want to at least get mine reset. I'd also like to find out why it's on, which is probably more important, really. Now, it may be something simple and it may not need to be fixed. It may just need to be reset. But I'd also like to review some common reasons why your airbag light may be on. Disclaimer, I am not a specialist or qualified technician in SRS equipment, airbags. I have researched this and I'm going to do the best I can to get mine the way I want it. If this helps you, well, that's why we're here. But before we do that, we have two Zeds of the Week. First, we have Trevor from the UK with his 1999 2.8 six-cylinder automatic, which he's had for 3 years. Now, he has 99,000 miles on it, and he has upgraded the stereo, added black kidney grills. He says it's a summer toy because the weather in the UK is bad in winter, and it is in nice condition, and he will never sell it. Now, that is different from John, who actually flips cars, and one that he's looking to flip is his 1999 2.3-liter Oxford Green Metallic with 23,500 miles on it. However, much like Trevor's, it's also an automatic, so with two automatics, that's kind of unusual. John's never been more tempted to keep a car. He said it is not perfect, but it is up for sale. John, I wish you luck with that. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for sharing your beautiful cars. If you'd like to see your car on Zed of the Week, please follow the instructions in the description as always. I have a few in the pipeline. I will get to them all. Do not worry. I take them in order. I'm going to do 2 a week until I get caught up, and I'm going to keep doing videos. Please keep sending them in. Now, to that airbag light. Okay, so here's what this looks like if you're not familiar with it. If you're watching, you probably are familiar with it. Put the key into the second position and the other warning lights near the SRS light go off, but the airbag light stays on. Go ahead and crank her up and everything else is off except that airbag light. And let's talk about some of the reasons that may be. Okay, again, I'm not a qualified factory-trained BMW technician with particular expertise in the SRS system, but what my research has told me about the common reasons your airbag light may be on is, number one, you or someone else did some work that involved the airbag system, whether you knew it or not, with the ignition key in and or the battery not disconnected. Maybe the most common thing we would do on our own is those seat bushings, which I did a video on a few months ago. You have to remove the seats. To remove the seats, you have to disconnect connections below the seat. One of those involves the airbag system, the supplemental restraint system, and if your ignition key was in when you disconnected and then reconnected that, it may have tripped that fault light. That's probably the most common reason. Then the second most common reason also involves those same connections underneath the seat, so let's take a look. So related to what I just said, up underneath the seats, you have a couple of connections. There's one that's very easy to see right there. Again, kind of hard to video under here. And then there's another one that this larger wire is connected to. It's kind of in the back and hard to see. But those connections sometimes come loose. If you have the seat moving, sometimes those connections will come loose or you'll pinch a wire or something. And that's another very common reason for your SRS warning light to come on. So the best thing to do especially like when you're doing seat bushings, is to clean the contacts on those, double check them, make sure they're clean and making a good connection. I did that when I did the seat bushings. I pretty sure the connections are good, so I don't know the reason why my airbag light is on, and maybe you're in the same boat. Okay, so again, I don't know what the exact problem with my airbag system is. I don't know why the light's on. What I've bought is probably one of the cheapest and more popular solutions to this problem. That is the B800 BMW SRS reset tool. Now, you may already have a meter that plugs into your OBD2 that's capable of doing this. They tend to be kind of more expensive when they can do that and all the other functions. This is just basically for one job and one job only, for BMWs in our year range that include the Z3 and other models as well. You can read the codes why your SRS light is on. It's not easy, and I'll tell you why in a minute, and then reset it. So of course, if you have codes, you don't fix them and you just reset it, the airbag light will probably come back on sooner than later, and you really haven't solved the problem. You've just punted, as we say. So here's what comes with the B800. I've put a link in the description. I bought it on Amazon for about $26. Full disclosure, I am now an Amazon affiliate, so if you want to order this, please, you're doing me a favor if you use my link. I'll make a few pennies, and it won't cost you any more, so I'd certainly appreciate that. But anyways, the B800 comes with 3 pieces really: the unit itself, a connection to adapt from the OBD2 to the OBD1, which is under your hood. Show you that in a minute. You need to use the OBD1 connection, otherwise it won't work. And it comes with this manual. Now this is made in China, and it is the manual is not very good. The instructions aren't very good, and they're riddled with typos, as you might expect if you've dealt with equipment like this before. But this is supposed to be able to do the job. It's supposed to be able to read the code and reset it, and inside are the code tables. So first of all, you're going to get a code table to refer to, then you're going to get an actual fault code. So let's say you get a table 1, you go to table 1, and next you get a code, and then you read the code from here, and that supposedly will help you out. Maybe it will point you in a direction to actually do the fix and then come back and reset the light later. So I'm probably just going to go ahead and reset the light. It depends on what this thing says, so let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, so step 1, key in that second position, but do not start the car. Okay, step 2, underneath the hood. If you go over on my car anyways, the OBD1 sensor is located on the passenger side near the jumper connection, if you ever needed to jump your battery. And right here, you have a cover that unscrews, and it will go away. There we go. And you have the connection itself right there. Now you can see, due to this Pac-Man shaped thing in the middle, there's only one way that our tool is going to go in, and of course only one way you can put the lid back in when you're done, because there's connections in there. So luckily BMW has designed that so you can't screw it up too bad. And we'll go ahead and plug it in. So we've got our connector, and again that Pac-Man shaped guy right there. And we'll go ahead and put that in. Only one way that goes in. And now you see the meter is giving us the code FA, and that means it's ready to go and it's reading things the way it should. And next thing you do is hit enter. And it's going to give us the table first. So we're going to use table 02. Hit enter again for the fault, and it's giving us a code 18. So we're on table 2. I've got a code 18. Hit it again, and I have a code 11. So 21811 and 11 again, and a 6. Okay, so 21811 6. And now when we get those 2 dashes, thankfully, we're out of codes. So 21811 and 6, let's go to the manual and look those up. Okay, so I'm kind of in the middle of the manual, and I'm on table 2 and table 38, which apparently are the same table. And if I take a look at code fault 18, I get seat occupancy detector passenger. So as I said, sometimes that passenger seat seems to be a big issue. And then if I look at code 11, I get seat belt buckle switch passenger, and the code 6 is a firing circuit belt tensioner passenger side. So all these are issues in that passenger seat, and again, that seems to be the most common. Do I really think there's an issue with those things? I don't believe so. I mean, it's impossible to be sure. I could go ahead and replace all those parts, but I think what I'd like to do again is go ahead and do a reset and see if it doesn't come back. Then I know probably at some point it was disconnected with the key in, or the battery still connected, and that's what caused these issues. So to reset, I'm going to go ahead and hit enter again. I go back to FA, our starting point where we could read codes. Now to go to reset, simply go to the scroll button, and it's going to go to CA. CA is to reset that light. So hit enter. And once you get that, supposedly your light is reset. Let's go to the dash and take a look. Guess what? Good news. SRS light is off. Let's go ahead and go back to the beginning and see if it stays off. And there we go. I'm going to go ahead and take out that tool, reconnect the cap, and then I'm going to actually turn the ignition on and make sure that's still working for us. Not something you see every day on a BMW. No lights at all. Success, at least for now. Well, folks, there you have it. A fairly simple, cheap fix. If my airbag light comes back on, I'll let you know. I'll keep you up to date. I'm hoping that I can forget about it for a while. And I hope this helped you. If you found this content valuable, please crush that like button as always. And until next time, remember, friends don't let friends drive boring.